Guys, with the recent rebalance in modern warships, almost all of the battleships were buffed with the exception of some battleships like the Richelieu and the Montana. Keep in mind that these battleships were added recently, but we don't have any changes, even though some players were asking for a nerf to the Richelieu. I have to recognize that it is too OP with those 4 slots of grenade launchers. This battleship is unbeatable, but I think a nerf is not necessary, in my opinion, okay? That's just what I think. Now, let's talk about some of the most important changes. We have to start with the Missouri. This is one of the most emblematic battleships of the game, also one of the oldest ones. Now, with this battleship, you have the ability to rotate on the spot with 0 speed. Keep in mind that this wasn't possible in the past, and from now on you will be able to do it. Also, they improved the overall accuracy of the Mark 7 cannon, okay? This is the main cannon of this battleship. They didn't change the damage or the speed, only the accuracy. The Massachusetts, another gold battleship. Another powerful battleship, the Washing. They buffed the HPG-45E. Keep in mind that this cannon is effective against both surface and air targets. They set up the detonation radius to the target 20 meters. Added explosion damage plus 100 per hit. Set up explosion radius 100 meters. Decreased the impact force of the projectile and increased the crosshair for easier shooting. Also, they buffed the locked grenade launcher, the Type 726-4EX. Keep in mind that this buff also applies to the CN Liren because we have the same grenade launcher locked to the CN Liren. Well, here they didn't change the damage or any other stat, but the accuracy of this grenade launcher, okay? They improved it. Now, the Bismarck. Yes, guys, the European equipment was buffed as well. The main cannon was buffed. They increased the base damage per projectile from 9,500 points to 10,000 points. Decreased the base reload time from 14.6 seconds to 12.5 seconds. Okay, keep in mind that those are the values without upgrades. They increased the projectile speed from 778 knots to 876 knots. Also, they improved the overall accuracy of this cannon. The secondary cannon was buffed as well. They increased the projectile speed from 681 knots to 778 knots. They increased the overall accuracy and decreased the impact force per projectile. Also, they decreased the spread of the projectiles. And yeah, so far those are the changes for the 2 cannons, but we have more. I already talked about this one in my previous video, this MLG-27, which is a locked air defense that is available in this battleship and also in the Admiral Graf Spee. So this buff applies for both of the warships. They increased the damage, the range, reduced the reload speed, and also decreased the projectile spread of this air defense. Okay, that was a good one. The RF Moscow. Yes, guys, this battleship was buffed too. The RBU 16,000, this grenade launcher. They increased the projectile speed from 457 knots to 486 knots. They increased the overall accuracy and decreased the spread of the projectiles. This was the only weapon that was buffed from this battleship. Now, the Yamato Aegis. Okay, don't be excited because they didn't buff the main cannons or the locked missile. The only thing that they buffed from this battleship was the locked air defense, the JHLA. They increased the base fire range from 2.1 kilometers to 2.5 kilometers. They increased the projectile speed from 778 knots to 876 knots. They decreased the spread of the projectiles, and yeah, so far these are the changes for this battleship. Now, another one interesting here is the buff of the Teton battleship. Some of the locked weapons here were buffed. The first one, the locked missile, the M3. They decreased the base reload time from 13 seconds to 11 seconds. They buffed the main cannon, okay? Not the damage, but the overall accuracy. The AT-3, this torpedo. Keep in mind that this torpedo is available for the Pen Spatial Argonas as well. So this buff applies for both the Teton and the Argonas. They increased the base damage of this torpedo from 12,000 points to 14,000 points. And decreased the base reload time from 10 seconds to 9 seconds. Keep in mind that those are the values without upgrades. The Admiral Isakov. Yeah, I think I already mentioned this one. Here they buffed the locked missile that we have, the P1000 Vulcan. This one was a huge buff because they increased the durability a lot. From 125 points to 400 points. They added almost 300 points of durability. Also, the speed of this missile was increased from 195 knots to 295 knots. But I think that's actually the acceleration of this missile, I'm not sure. About the Kronstadt, as I mentioned before, the Oreshnik is now an anti-flare missile. They also increased the lock time from 2.5 seconds to 3 seconds. Okay, I forgot to tell you this because I only mentioned the anti-flare abilities, but they also made these missiles slower. So they decreased the max speed from 525 knots to 486 knots. Increased the speed change from 136 knots to 175 knots. They increased the detonation radius to the target from 233 meters to 800 meters. Okay, that's a lot of area of effect. Also, they increased the overall speed of the Oreshnik spewers. The magnificent Yamato. Yes, guys, we received a small buff with this battleship, but yeah, I think it is good. Now, this battleship auto-regenerates 20% health per minute instead of 20% as it used to be in the past. Also, they increased the overall accuracy of the main cannon of this battleship. I think that one is a good buff, I'm not gonna lie. But to be honest, I think that the real buff that we needed with this battleship was a buff to the air defenses, okay? Not to add more because we already have 24 and 20 autocannons, 26 actually. But they should make these air defenses more effective, more powerful. I already mentioned the changes of the new Hampshire. They added 2 THAADs air defenses here. Now we have more. These used to be only 2. Also, they increased the damage of the railgun of this battleship. The base damage from 14,000 points to 16,000 points. They decreased the reload time from 15.5 seconds to 15 seconds. And the Go-Jar drone. They increased the base ammo count from 1 to 3. Okay, I like this. Keep in mind that we have a missile that can cause 24,000 points of damage. Also, I already shared all the changes of the Massachusetts in my previous video. They buffed the main cannon, but they nerfed the grenade launcher, okay? Here they reduced the damage. Okay, guys, if we're gonna test a battleship, that should be the Kronstadt. Yes, because now we have an anti-flare missile. Yes, I don't care about the rest of the weapons. Just give me an anti-flare missiles and I will do miracles in the battles. Okay, there we go. Keep in mind that the durability of that missile is 1000 points. Okay, look, we already caused some damage to that enemy. I'm gonna try to destroy this cutter right now. Yeah, let's go for that enemy. I'm gonna use these anti-flare missiles. The main cannon, look, 122,000 points. Please use flares. Do it, do it. Okay, he's not doing it. I'm gonna use all the missiles. I'm using full Gabriel 5s with this battleship. Okay, main cannon again, and I think this one is gonna be my first elimination. Yes, we did it. He was using the electronic warfare consumable, by the way. Okay, this is the only thing that I hate about this battleship. The fact that we don't have grenade launchers to destroy the torpedoes. Can I look that enemy from here? Yeah. Here we go, here we go. Oh, it's an Admiral Isakov, another battleship that was buffed with these balance changes. Yes, the main missile, the P1000 Vulcan, was buffed. Ooh, bye-bye, my friend. Nice, another one for me. Here we have a Veliki. There we go, with the Oreshnik missile again. Okay, that was a lot of damage. And now I'm gonna use all the missiles, bro. I'm not even using my helicopter. Okay, now I deployed my heli. That was an assist? Are you serious? This is the last one to destroy. Which is that enemy? Okay, it's an aircraft carrier, CN type 004. Ooh, yeah. We can destroy these oil rigs. Let's go. Okay, I'm trying to look that enemy, but it's gonna take a while. The speed wasn't buffed, as you can see, 16 knots. Bro, it is so slow. Here we go, all the missiles. I'm gonna use all the missiles at the same time. Oh, he was using flares, but it wasn't a problem since we have anti-flare missiles now. Another battleship that we have to test real quick is the Bismarck, because here they buffed the main cannon and the secondary cannon. Also, one of the air defenses that is locked to this warship. Okay, look, we have an Admiral Isakov right there. Perfect target to test all the cannons. Look, I'm gonna keep spamming the missiles. Oh, I forgot that we have a grenade launcher with this battleship. Okay, now he's taking some cover. Maybe I can try to destroy, yeah, this Battlecruiser 2000. So, now with the Battlecruiser 2000, you guys can use smoke bombs. Yes, guys, the new consumable that will be available for some of the warships will be available for the Battlecruiser 2000. Look, now, he's doing it. He's using that consumable, but it is not effective against the cannons or the grenade launchers. Yes, only against the missiles. Where are you, bro? I can't see anything there. I will have to destroy the battleship then. What are you doing over there? Bro, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Can I lock one of these guys? Yeah. TF-2000. All the missiles. Cannons here. Grenade launcher. Get out of here, buddy. Another one. Let's go. 3 players left. Oh, this is another one. Okay. Yes, this was my elimination. Oh, also I forgot to tell you that they changed the effects for the grenade launchers. Look. Now these are kind of thinner, if I'm not wrong. Also the same for the missiles. The missile trails. Okay. Let's go for this battleship here real quick. Nice. Another one. This is the last one. It's an aircraft carrier. Let's go back. Nuclear missile. Main cannon. Grenade launcher. Bye bye, my friend. Another easy victory so far. I see that everyone is happy with these balance changes. In a separate video, I will share the changes for all the tier 2 equipment. So now, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because I will be sharing all those news, more leaks, updates and reviews about the new equipment in modern warships. Bye bye!